Hi, everybody. Let's call it a sunny, warm celebration that may lead to headlines such as the warmest Shamrock Run Day ever this coming Sunday. And certainly one of the warmer St. Patrick's Days that we've ever had. Of course, both are the same day this time around, coming up Sunday in Portland. Um, just amazing weather. Behind the shoulder, I'm in the KGW studios. You can see our live Timberline camera. Blue skies over the summit. Past temperatures likely to hit 50 degrees today. So with the warming, the dry weather, the sun, absolutely no travel issues across all of Oregon or Washington in the coming days through the weekend. These are some live cameras as of coming up on 8:30 this morning. There you can see Tillamook, and of course Seaside's nestled down by Tillamook. And with a bit of an east wind, Seaside's often one of the warmer spots up and down the certainly the north and central Oregon coast. I give Seaside a chance of being 70 today or tomorrow or both days. East winds picked up in the gorge on yesterday afternoon into the night. And keep in mind, when you have an east wind, it can be fairly light. I mean, this isn't a strong east wind. Even in the gorge, winds are bouncing to about 25 at most. You have similar temperatures in the valley as you do at the coast. So it's going to be really nice in terms of warm weather at the coast with generally sunny skies today and tomorrow. The cloudiness you're seeing this morning, I'll show you in a moment, just a little bit of high cloudiness spilling down and mid-level cloudiness too, and the upper level wind flow. But generally, this is going to be sunny all areas. Beautiful, pretty clear over in the Sisters area. Those are the, of course, Three Sisters sticking up. There's a camera on the clubhouse at Aspen Lakes Golf Course. That's the view from that golf course. It's pretty amazing. And then out in the gorge, pretty clear this morning as well, Elk Ridge Golf Course. And you get to look across at the Oregon side and the mountains there and Wind Mountain on the left. Again, gorge winds today east to about 25. So you'll notice those winds if you're in a typical east wind area. Not windy, but a bit of a breeze. Much of us will just continue to see light winds. And that wind direction, of course, helps warm the temperatures up. So the overall weather pattern has really been consistently shown on the models for more than a week now. This started to show up, and it's absolutely happening. This is what takes place during the day today. The upper level ridge and the high is actually already starting to edge inland this morning. It centers right over Oregon and up into Washington. And if you look at the red color, which is the pressure height anomaly, so the deeper the red, the stronger the pressure height in comparison to seasonal averages. But what this does show you is that the warmest weather is going to be northern Oregon up into Washington, and even crossing the Canadian border in terms of temperature anomalies above normal. So a large area covering all of our region of the sunny, warm weather. And I think Portland and even Seattle likely to hit 70. If Seattle doesn't do it today, I do expect them to hit 70 tomorrow and possibly on Sunday as well. So this is the pattern that we've been expecting and talking about. 66 in Portland yesterday. My forecast high was 64. We went 2 degrees above that. And at 66 yesterday, for the time being, the warmest day of the year so far here in the Rose City, but we'll hit 70 to 71 easily today. And for now, I've got my numbers the same, that I've had, 73 Saturday, 73 Sunday. But I think I'm on the low end, meaning I may end up lifting these temperatures. There is a reason to believe that we could be mid-70s. Not a record yesterday. Of course, the record for Thursday was 74. We hit 66. Today's record is 77 out at PDX. I don't think that's obtainable. 80 on Saturday, I don't think is obtainable. I've got 73. Maybe I'm too cool and it hit 75. That is the earliest Portland has ever hit 80 by the record books in that warm stretch in March of 1947. And the record on Sunday is 73. And my forecast, I'm sorry, the record on Sunday is 76. You can see my forecast size 73, but I mentioned I might be too cool. So that's the first record that I think is obtainable to at least tie here in the Rose City would be Sunday. And Monday's record is actually breakable as well, where I think we'll still be at least 73 degrees. So longest dry streak since late November. We've talked a lot about that. Hope you have time to get out and enjoy it. Let me get out of that. That was an old satellite imagery, and I can show you the latest from the Weather Service website, weather.gov. And see that, just follow my cursor. See these clouds kind of arc, and then they kind of arc up into Canada. This is the high pressure ridge being carved out visually on the satellite picture. Now, the high is just now centering itself up over the North Oregon coast. We've seen a little bit of cloudiness spill over the top of that and then push down into our skies. For most of it, it's kind of a thin layering of what's still mostly sunny this afternoon. And I really expect even those clouds to go away and for us to get into just deep blue skies at some point later today. But this ridging, it holds off and blocks any weather systems. So right now, every weather model says the dry weather continues through Tuesday, and then we'll start to get into some rain chances midweek upcoming. So what about the coast? Again, no big changes to what I've been talking about. We mentioned a moment ago that the east wind pattern produces just as warm of weather at the beach as it does the I-5 corridor for the most part. So the Oregon coast, 65 to 69 today, 64 to 68 tomorrow. Absolutely, there could be a few spots hit 70. Sunday is the difference maker. Notice I've lowered the temperatures 57 to 64. This is a day where the east wind is gone and the coast will start to pick up somewhat of a cooling west breeze off the Pacific waters. And while low cloudiness may not come in until later in the day or may not be widespread, I do think, and maybe it happens even early in the morning, that there will be some areas of low cloudiness along the beaches develop Sunday during the day. And if so, that could pin those areas to where temperatures may struggle to get up to 60. No moisture chance, but just realize if you want clear, warm weather, today and tomorrow are your best bets to see that play out. Here's what we'll take you through the animation of the ridge patterns aloft, the upper flow pattern, 18,000 feet with the American GFS model. Here we are this morning. We just talked about this as upper level high, getting ready to move inland. Let's play this into 4 o'clock this afternoon, or 5 o'clock this afternoon, pardon me. Notice the ridge is, it's nosing inland. It's also nosing up farther north, almost centered over Vancouver, BC. So that's warm weather up into Canada as well. And then here it is tomorrow afternoon, just looking at the placement, the center of the high, where you have the enclosed contours, that's the center of the upper level high. It's over British Columbia. Wow. And that means that as you get into Southern Oregon, you get farther away from the peak of the warmest temperatures in terms of being above normal. Notice strong ridging back here, weather systems holding out. Let's go ahead and just play this through Sunday afternoon. There it is. Here's the ridge still in place Monday morning. Now the ridge is weakening somewhat on Monday, but still in place, still absolutely dry weather with no rain chance. And then as we go into Tuesday morning, now the ridge that was all the way up into Canada actually weakens and migrates southward down into the Four Corners area of Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and California. Now, back here is the rain chance where you see the troughing of the contours. We're still dry Tuesday. Wednesday is the first day that modeling shows a rain chance. And the computer models have been a little back and forth. They were saying Wednesday, then yesterday went dry. Now today they're back to showing, well, Wednesday's the day that we have clouds, some cooler weather, and some rain showers. This shows a fairly weak trough digging in Wednesday morning. We'll play it into Wednesday afternoon. At this point, this would be likely showers, probably not very hefty rain totals, but likely some rain. Notice the polar jet, the dark blue contour here where the cold weather and the lower snow levels would be, holds up into British Columbia. So if this is true, then look, I'm looking at my notes. Right now, I've got Wednesday afternoon snow level as low as 5,000 feet. That would still be rain at Government Camp over Mount Hood. And then as we play it into Thursday, there's the polar jet still up to our north. And that would still be probably snow levels no lower than 3, and probably a good bet the snow levels would be no lower than 4. So this is not cold weather coming in, but it's showery weather, potentially as early as Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday. And then remember, once the rain returns this week, I'm going to play this into, let me just stop it on, here we are, Sunday afternoon, March 24th. Notice how what happens is we just get to more of a zonal flow. And by zonal flow, if you look at the contours, notice how they're just flowing west to east into us. So the zonal flow pattern typically has weaker fronts embedded in it and just occasional weaker shots of some rain, but no big storms. The polar jet's up north, so the snow levels would never get much below 4,000 feet in the Cascades. And that looks to be the way that we'll ride this out for the remainder of March, kind of what we've been telling you that we're expecting. Well, over my shoulder, you can see the Timberline camera showing the clear skies here in the KGW Weather Center. Timberline's 43 this morning. Skibo's 32 at 5,000 feet. Meadows 38. Obviously, the passes are in great shape, right? 37 degrees. Going to be above freezing even in the Cascades in the coming nights. I've got government camp 51 today, 54 Saturday and Sunday into Monday. Still dry on Tuesday. You see how high the snow level, freezing levels will actually go up to 10,000 feet or higher at times in the next couple of days. We talked about the coast being warming up to maybe 70 today or tomorrow, and then more cooling off on Sunday. Seattle, let's see what their forecast high is today. Mid 60s. Keep in mind, Seattle, not always, but on average, can be about 5 degrees cooler than Portland. So mid 60s makes sense today. And then if Seattle hits 71 on Saturday and Sunday, you would think maybe Portland could be mid 70s. But keep in mind, the bullseye of the center of the warmest air in terms of above normal departures is actually in Washington across north into the Canadian border. So Portland could be the same as Seattle on Saturday and Sunday potentially. And there's that rain chance showing up on Wednesday, Thursday. No freezing temps, quite mild tonight with highs not even approaching getting down as cold as 40 degrees. So that's pretty nice. Now, Medford 34 early this morning. This really highlights it. And again, we talked about this the other day. It's going to be warmer in northern parts of Oregon and Washington than will be southern Oregon because of the placement of where that upper level high sits that produces the compressive heating. 68 in Medford today, 67 Saturday. I mean, a really nice weekend. Sunny 63 on Sunday. They cooled down earlier down south than we will here in Portland. And there's a rain chance showing up on Wednesday and Thursday as well. One more check. We like to check into Bend. Freezing this morning, 28. Beautifully sunny, clear over there. We saw the shot of Three Sisters this morning. 55 today, 60s in Central Oregon, sunshine over the weekend. Really great stuff. Nearing 70 perhaps on Monday into Tuesday. And then Central Oregon, those initial systems are fairly weak, so it makes sense that none of that rain we get up over the Cascades, and this shows Bend staying dry through Thursday of next week right now. And with that said, let's wrap it up as we normally do with my 7-day forecast for the Rose City. And again, I feel like my forecast highs are either spot on or maybe we're going to be 2 to 3 degrees warmer than I'm actually showing. So at 71 today, maybe 72 or 3. 73 over the weekend, maybe one of these days spikes at 74, 75, 76. And then still in the 70s on Monday. 73 would be a record, by the way, for the date if we make it. And then Tuesday still dry, but this is definitely a day where you start to get more of a westerly influence. Some increase in cloud cover. I cool us into the mid 60s, still really nice. And then the showers we talked about, highs in the 50s on Wednesday and Thursday. All right. Well, that is your update. This seems to be a slam dunk that it's a great weekend. Feel free to check back. I'll have an update, if not on Saturday, certainly on Sunday. And for now, I'll wish you enjoyment of this pleasant weather. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill.